Good day, everybody. We are day 464 from starting the regenerative build. We're day 4 of flower from when we flipped. And we are day 160 some from actually starting the cycle up, starting the creek system up. So I know a couple of people were asking, like, what's the difference between like 464 days? That's from the time I laid the foundation. So it's been right around 464 days, a little over a year and some change, 100 days, since I actually started the build. So we started it up about January, so it's been running about mid-January. And really got it going like full steam ahead, where we didn't shut it off at all about the end of January, start of February. Anyway, just thought I'd clear that up on this quick video. The auto long is definitely, this is the land race from India. It is not an auto flower. It is called auto lang or long, however you want to pronounce it. I've been hearing it called different things, but it's a land race that was brought back from India from a friend of ours. And it is definitely going to take over the bed. It's hard to tell, but to give you an idea, this elephant ear. This is my hand. Look at the size of this elephant ear. So it stretches, gives you kind of a better idea of how big it is, and how it's just stretching this elephant ear. But also the auto long, GG Sherbert is both. They're going to be colliding with one another. We've been bending the GG Sherbert over. It keeps popping back up. Of course, we'll just keep bending over, but you can see that it's almost over to the creek. The black mjitos here are looking great. Now these are regular photo seeds, and we don't know. I'm thinking this might be a male, but I'm thinking we got lucky and got 3 females. So you can kind of see the difference here. So this is the top of a plant here, and then we've got boom, boom, boom. You can see this one is way behind the rest. Does have this one branch that's shooting on up there, but thinking this is a male. I ain't positive yet, so we're just going to leave it until we're positive. This is only day 4 of flower. Rest of these look really good though. You can see that. Oh, looks like I broke. Didn't get that. Get that out of there. But you can see we've thinned all this out, getting ready for stretch. We don't have any red streaks. We don't have any deficiencies. Got some fly dung. We had the fly outbreak, but when the flies, when they get too heavy in here, they come and go. It's weird how the fly, it's like a house fly that comes and goes. But what happens is that they just crap on everything, and you get the little white spots on the leaves. But it's no big deal. You can see that little, that's probably just fly crap. No cause for alarm. You can see the plants are super healthy. They're getting all the nutrients they need. They're getting the water they need. They're constant water source. They're flowing water through the creek. Everything just seems to love it. We're getting that wicking action from the creek. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know, but if you're just tuning in, this sand, silt, and clay that we have, it's an organic matter that we get from our property here, that we live on a freshwater reservoir, so on the edges of the reservoir, and when there's a little freshwater creek that comes in from underground, we can harvest some of this sand and silt that's around the edges of the reservoir, and that's what's in the creek system. But we remove the organic matter from the sand and silt, so there's just sand and silt in the center of the creek. But as we come up, we add the organic matter, and the organic matter is what gives us the wicking action, and it'll actually wick it right up the wall here. You can see this is down, see the wall, it comes up the wall, over, and then we extend that sand, silt, clay, and organic matter in here on top of the soil, on top of the soil, but under our mulch layer. So under this mulch layer here, under the mulch layer here, we go down just a little bit, boom, I can feel moisture. I can feel the sand, the silt, the clay. But more importantly, I feel water. And that's all the way up against the rock wall. So the creek's way down there. My hand and all the way up to this plant here, I can feel moisture being wicked up. And it sounds impossible, but it's not. That organic matter, you can actually watch it just suck it right on up the wall. And that keeps all the moss. The moss is here to hold the sand, silt, clay on top of the rock wall. Connects everything, because moss doesn't have roots. Okay, so moss just have like these hair-like root hairs, basically. They're like little root hairs, single root hairs that come out of each individual moss strain. Each individual one of those little like moss strains has a little tiny root. But that's all that's there. We just lay that right on top, and that holds moisture. You know, we all know moss is great moisture retention. It holds lots and lots of water. And then what happens is the slugs come in and eat everything, and we have to repair or add new moss as they break this stuff down. It's okay that they break it down, because that's what they do. That just becomes more nutrient from the plants. These horsetail, you can see we've cut these back. They were getting out of hand, but we left these. This is how big they were. So we just cut a hole through there and let these plants grow on out. We may have to go ahead and just take all these down a little bit. Let's see if we can. You can hear red outside. So we're getting these getting this grass out, growing. It's really starting to spread. See it better over here. That grass is what we're looking for. That is big time, because I want that grass to spread. So we started it over here on the edge, and it has spread, and it's spreading its roots all throughout the creek, and this is exactly what we want. We want that grass, we want all this grass to connect. We want all of this to be grass. That would be great. That's going to filter all this water. Red must be chasing a groundhog or something. He's a good boy. He's just loud and barks at everything. He's not what you call a people person dog. Took me a year. He just showed up here He just showed up here all scrawny and about half dead. And I put a bowl of food out there. You know what they say, if you feed them, they stay. He's part of the family now, so he sleeps in the damn bed with us now, so go figure, huh? Johnny's best friend. This river grass here is what I call, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it has rooted in completely. That's great because this is where the initial poo is coming in at. You can see all our snails up here at the top where this is the enter point from the pond water. This is where all the poo is coming in at. And this grass is what's, all this stuff here, this is what's going to be rooting into the creek and cleaning our creek for us. There is no filter in the pond, so if you're wondering if there was a filter, no, the creek is the filter. The plants are the filter. The roots of the plants are the filter. And over time, this will build up, these roots will grow, and it will only get better and better and better. That's the hope anyway. If I don't go screwing it up, adding something I shouldn't, don't spray any type of pesticides, fungicide, anything, nothing. Just all natural farming inputs. Things like EM1, lactic acid bacteria, fermented plant extracts. And that's it. Everything else comes from the pond, and all the water comes from the creek. So everything is being wicked up into the beds, and all the excess water, like I said, this is a horizontal soil system. All the excess water ends up in this hole here. It's dry right now, and that's because all the plants are huge and sucking up all that excess water. Once we cut these plants out, you'll see that we get water in the hole. So that's how I know that everything is working properly. That once those plants are removed, they stop wicking up that water, and all the extra water that shouldn't be in the soil or isn't sitting there, it needs to be moving. So when soil sits stagnant in water, just like when water sits, bad things happen. So we go anaerobic, and the soil can't breathe, and bad things happen, hence anaerobic. So when you can't breathe, bad things happen. So that's the whole trick behind this regenerative is everything has to stay moving, everything has to stay flowing, spinning, so to speak. Think of the earth spinning. Think of, if you don't move, you lose. If you don't move it, you lose it, so to speak. My grandma used to say that all the time. She said, if you ain't moving, you ain't staying mobile, then you're going to lose your ability to be mobile. So we need to move all the time. Everything needs to be flowing all the time. When things sit stagnant, that's when bad things happen. So what I do is just come through, like I said, we just do a little bird wiping, a little scratching, a little chicken scratch through here. Make sure nothing's staying stagnant for too long. And that's the key. It's okay to stay stagnant for, a week. It's fine. A month, not good. Things go really bad really quick in just a few days. So, and if I went away for 2 weeks, nothing of this happened, I didn't tend to anything, and the water got, over saturated with nitrates and ammonia, and fish started dying. The simple solution to all that is a water change. So just like in an aquarium, we would do a water change, except we would do more of a water change. So instead of doing like a 10-gallon, So this is in the pond here is about 200 gallons. So I would do a 10 to 15 gallon water change out of the 200. That's it. Very small. If things went crazy, I would do a little bit more, maybe 25 gallons to get that back down to normal levels. And I don't really test anything. I go by sight. I can just tell things look bad. You lose a fish that you shouldn't have lost. One that maybe is a young fish. You don't want to lose young fish. It's okay to lose old fish because fish don't have a very long lifespan. So if you lose a fish, make sure that it wasn't just didn't live out its life. But you losing a young fish usually means that it was either sick, and then that fish is going to probably spread its disease to something else, and everything in the whole thing is just going to crash. So we want to look out for that. We haven't added any new fish to this since we started. So everything was bait fish, and then we added the turtles, Cooter and Scooter. And as you can see, what's up, Cooter? He's having a good old time. All the fish seem to be, and actually I thought I saw, see that big one? That's the shiner. That's the original shiner. He's the first one I ever put in. He's from the reservoir. I caught him in a minnow trap. Everything else came from the bait and tackle shop. That big bullhead looking goldfish thing. Oh, and except the little Chinese algae eater there. That was a mistake. I wouldn't do that again. But we do have a couple of plinkos in here. Look at these guys. Want something to eat. Ain't got no worm right now, bud. We've already fed you this morning. We put that on Instagram. So you've already eaten. You too, Scooter, or Cooter. You can see the color change in his shell. Pretty cool how they get bigger. As they get bigger, the colors and the pattern on the shell will change. That's Cooter right here, and that's Scooter. So you can see the subtle differences. So Cooter is a peninsula, and Scooter on top there is a river Cooter. So they're both Cooter sliders. Both are from Florida, both from the same turtle breeder down in Florida. My in-laws live in Clearwater, and I researched a place down there that gifts certain turtles to people, which is really cool. The turtles needed a home, and here they are, living in paradise. my paradise anyway. I appreciate everybody doing the walk around with me today. Everything's getting crazy in here. Let me see if I can get it a full shot here. And once we start seeing bud sites, it's going to get pretty crazy in here. We'll have to show off our management skills. We'll be staking up. We'll have some fishing line. We'll have all kinds of stuff going on in here, but we'll make it happen. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.